There's more breaking news we're following. Chicago police have just released dozens of hours of surveillance video in the case of the actor Jussie Smollett, who claimed he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. Our national correspondent Ryan Young is standing by. Ryan, the video shows Smollett with a noose around his neck when police enter his home the night he says he was attacked. I want to show our viewers the video, then we're going to discuss. Watch this.
I just don't want my neighbors to know.
Okay.
So I explained to them how you were going to get something in. And the reason I'm calling because of this shit. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to take it off for anything?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted y'all to see it.
1872 Robert. Shows transporter one female official
There's
detection.
bleach on me. They put bleach on me.
Okay.
Right, 1872 Robert.
You're filming us, right?
Yeah, this is all being audibly and visually recorded.
You want them to take that off? They're filming you. Like audio. I guess when they didn't know they were walking into, I don't want to be filmed. Okay, so can we turn it off?
Yeah, you're giving us permission to turn it off.
So, Ryan, you've watched this video closely. You've seen the other video that's been released. First of all, tell us about why he was wearing that noose.
Well, we believe that's a part of his story. He told police that the two attackers who hit him several times had put the noose around his neck. And I can tell you, detectives actually started reaching into that story almost from the moment they saw that noose, because one of the things they wanted to talk about is, look, it looks like a very new rope, and it looked like it had just been pulled out of the package. That's something that worried detectives really from the very beginning, because they wanted to see why someone would have a newly packaged rope in their possession when they would go to do an attack on Jussie Smollett. So that was one question they had. The other voice that we think we hear in the background is Jussie Smollett's manager, and he's probably the person who actually asked police officers to turn off the body camera. All the police officers here in Chicago are equipped with those body-worn cameras, and of course, in the initial stages of any investigation, sometimes this proves to be very helpful to police. We've also asked them, why did they decide to blur out his face when they released this video? So far, we haven't heard why they decided to blur out Jussie Smollett's face. But also, look at the sweater that he's wearing. It's one of the coldest days in Chicago, and of course, he was out and about. We believe there may have been a bleach substance on that sweater as well. It's something that police took into evidence. From here, we do know the story sort of takes a turn, because they asked Jussie Smollett, did they want him to be taken to the hospital? He refuses to go with the police officers to the hospital. Look, so many questions about this story, Wolf. We know a special prosecutor has just been put into place in terms of this investigation, because there are so many questions about how this case was handled in the days after. So many people in Chicago upset that Jussie Smollett basically got a slap on the wrist after this apparent elaborate hoax that, according to the Olsen-Darrow brothers who were involved in this, who told police that it was Jussie Smollett who came up with this story all along. Now, the actor, for his part, has said no, he didn't, and he was a victim. But the two brothers who went along with this, who apparently placed that noose around Jussie Smollett's neck and also hit him a couple times, tell police that it was the actor who came up with this elaborate plot to get more attention. Now, we know there's been big fallout from this. He lost his spot on Empire, even though he's still going to get paid. But since then, the city of Chicago has aggressively sort of gone after this entire story, at one point looking to seek financial damages from Jussie Smollett after this case brought international scrutiny on the city of Chicago and the police department. I should go on to say there are detectives and police officers who were also very upset with the prosecutor's office, because they felt like they put in so much work in this case, especially with the scrutiny that was put on the police department in those days, that they wanted to see Jussie Smollett face charges. Now, look, he first was indicted with more than like 16 counts. No one ever thought it was going to go that far, but they wanted to see more from the actor in terms of having to pay for what they believe was a crime. This story continues to unfold. Well, if I never thought when we started this case in January, we would still be talking about it in June, but now we're starting to see this video. There's more than 70 hours of video clips that have been released so far. One of the things that we also see is that the two brothers being arrested at the airport, I'm sure we'll be going through this for the next few days.
I'm sure we will. Ryan Young in Chicago for us. Ryan, thank you for that report.